I finished watching Love is Blind. It took me, what, like 2.5, 3 days? That ending was super unexpected. Like, okay, so real fun fact. I was watching back my like original like episode 6 synopsis or whatever, and I have something on my lip the entire time. So let's just go ahead and get over that because it's not gonna come off. I didn't see it. Okay, so I'm watching Love is Blind. This show was like, it's like garbage. Like, I mean, like, you know, it's entertaining. Like, it's really good. Like, entertainment wise, because you just want to keep watching to see what happens. But it's just like one of those like train wreck shows. Like, if you remember in VH1, like back in the day, they had like I Love New York and Flavor of Love and like Rock of Love and all those shows. It's like exactly that, except instead of like famous people, even though we all, like, let's not pretend like we knew who any of those people were on VH1. Like, none of us did in our generation. Like, these are like regular people. Like, they're not celebrities. And I keep, basically my main thought is like, I'm watching Jessica. This is episode 6, so it's how many episodes from the finale? Like 5 episodes from the finale. And they just landed back into the real world. And the entire time Jessica's been with Mark, ever since she saw him, she's like, I'm just not sure. Like, does anyone else get the feeling that this girl like voted for Trump? Like, like something is really like, it's like fishy about her. And then like, of course, on top of that, it's like or if she didn't vote for Trump, she voted for Hillary. But like last election, she voted for like Mitt Romney. Like, it just like, I just get that vibe. Like, she's so judgy, and like, you know, she wants like a frat boy. Like, she sounds like a frat girl. She's just like 12 years, 14 years, like past that stage. So it's just like,
when I had fallen for Barnett, I would think about him around the clock. The moment he told me he had changed his mind, I could not even figure out what to do with myself.
I don't know, if you haven't gotten like your frat star yet, like maybe you should like be more open to like not having a frat star. And like, this is coming from like someone who doesn't believe you should settle for something you don't want, but at the same time, it's like, I don't, like, her reservations are not really based on anything. Like, I'm not comfortable. What does that mean? Like, what are you trying to, like, she just is really, like, sketchy. Like, how, like, she's, one, obsessed with Barnett. Like, she cannot stop talking about Barnett. She's, like, I'm, like, really waiting to see, like, who's gonna get jilted at the altar for who. And, like, I really feel like she's gonna be fighting for Barnett until, like, I feel like she just said yes to Mark so she could get into the island so she could see Barnett and, like, keep fighting for Barnett. Because that's who she's been wanted. That's who she was attracted to. And then when she saw him, it was, like, done. Like, even though Barnett is a butterface, like, his body's good, I guess, but like, his face, like, all the black girls are like, okay. Like, he's not like fight over, like, make a fool of yourself cute. Like, he's like, he's alright. And there's like other guys there who are smart. So I just, anyway, this show is a train wreck, but it's just, it's hard to watch. The hardest one to watch is like Mark and Jessica. She's just being so like mean, and I just wish she would either let him go or keep him. Like, I think that's what disgusts me about the whole thing, is like she's like stringing him along because she doesn't want to look dumb, but also she doesn't want to get off the show, because if she called it quits, she would cut herself off from Barnett, which is who she's really like after. And it's just like, I just can't wait to see how this plays out. Like, it's all just very pathetic. Excuse me. Like, Mark, because he's like obsessed with her and he loves her when like she's not interested in him. Mark is like this like brown haired, like bug-eyed, like I don't know. He's just like, I think he's good looking, and I'm only 5 feet tall. Like, I don't know if these girls are all like 5'9" or something, because they're acting like he's so tiny. I'm like, how tall do you have to be to think a guy is like tiny? But I don't know. And he's taller than her, and he's taller than some of the girls. Anyway, my favorite relationship is Kelly and Kenny. Is that for real? Kelly and Kenny? I don't know. The blonde one, And the girl that used to be 40 pounds heavier. Her name is definitely Kelly. I just forgot the guy's name. They're my favorite. I can't wait to see what happens because, like, this is hard to watch, but I mean, of course, that's the point. Like, it's delicious. It's a delicious, like, mess, but it's a mess. So I had something on my lip. Now I'm gonna check. I'm gonna be self-conscious every video that something's on my face. Anyway.
After a few days in paradise, or hours, or seconds, it's really hard to tell with the show.
Checking in. Jessica is literally trying to convince the mother of her fiance that she's too old for him, and the mom is so cool with it, and Jessica is pissed because she wishes that that was gonna be a roadblock, and the mom was like, actually I think it's better that you're older than him, and Jessica's like, somebody give me something to get away from this guy without getting away from Barnett.
Can you do that for me? Can somebody please figure out a way to give me an out of one reason why I should not be in this relationship, but can I stay close to Barnett?
Okay, so let's play this out. We have a kid, and I'm like 36.
Okay.
You're 26. Play it out further.
Cool.
The kid turns 24.
It doesn't
14.
scare me. Like,
I'm 50.
looking at, like, look me in the eyes.
You're 40.
2040, and two trains are approaching each
How
other.
do you feel
One from
about that?
Chicago and one from New York. Our kid is 15. Your parents are 100. How many apples do I have in my pocket?
Also, need to mention, of course, the ethnic people on the show other than Mark. Lauren and Cameron are like your like cookie cutter, like internet interracial couple. Like Patricia Bright and her boyfriend, or I mean her husband. All these people are married now. Patricia Bright, Adana David. Who's the other one? Nikki and Jamie. And then also just typical interracial, like, internet couple. Like, they are the exact, like, a copy, like, a pretty black girl with, like, he's a high, like, white guy. And
I always hear, you don't look like a scientist.
Yeah, you do.
you know, like, they're just typical. And then Cameron and Carlton. So many names. Carlton and Diamond. Dang. That kind of ended on a sad, sour note. Carlton was really mature. Like, she really was, like, Diamond was really going to try to have a conversation with him about it, and, like, she was really trying to open up to the idea, but he was so, like, in his feelings about it being, like, shameful, and, like, it's kind of like when people talk about self-sabotaging themselves. Like, that was, like, true and pure, like, visual, like, self-sabotage in action. Like, they were going to have a conversation about it, and he let his defenses and his ideas of what he thought she was and what he thought she thought get in the way of them having the conversation, and it just tanked. It tanked. Like, I think it could have, like, worked if he was a little bit more open and a little bit less, like, worried. But, I mean, like, everybody has those things that are, like, triggers to them, or things that they feel like if somebody knows, like, they won't be accepted because of it, and it's just, like, a part of human nature, and it got the better of Carlton. It kind of sucks. Because I think Diamond would have been a really nice partner for him. Like, she seems like an easygoing, like, person. I don't know. I didn't think she was that pretty, but she was really nice, and I think it made up for it. I don't know. Like, Lauren and Cameron are just a regular interracial couple. Like, they're, like, trying to act like now that it's been done 60 million times, it's 60 million ways, like, and here we go, like, we're about to do this. Like, no, it's not that deep, and it's not that new, and it's not that intense anymore. Like, the whole, like, skin tone gamut has done it, from, like, Tia and Tamara, one of them, to Nikki Thought. Like, it's been done, and it's not, like, some big magical thing anymore. And, like, I really think the whole, like, it's gonna be a challenge thing is just, like, it's in people's head still. Okay, happy quarantine Saturday, aka Saturday where we don't get to do anything. But, I mean, it's good. This is great for recouping, relaxing. But, yeah, I like to do stuff on Saturdays, especially when it's sunny. Like, anything, like, literally anything just to get out of the house. So, anyway, Nick and Jessica Lachey definitely made a entertaining piece of television artwork. It was, I don't know, it was good. It was sad because the only couple that I thought was worth anything, Kelly and Kenny, didn't work out. But Instagram let us know that Kenny is thriving and doing well. Kelly is thriving, but like, I don't know, man. You should have picked Kenny. Because that was like literally the most childish like reason not to be with someone, is because you're not infatuated. Infatuation is literally the childish obsession with somebody that isn't really based on love. It's based on like a fantasy and idea of who somebody is. So like, you should have picked Kenny. Like, he was literally like, he's like a white Barack Obama. Whatever. He's moved on to another short brown haired girl. So and then Janina and what's his name, Damien, are ridiculous. Like, they're two ridiculous human beings that I just can't take people that are that ridiculous. Like, when they would argue, listen to me, and like, you're consistently inconsistent about consistency. Like, just,
you know how you tell me this is the best sex of your life? Have you noticed that I don't return the compliment? I don't say it's the best sex of my life too.
I said that one time, and I also, you said, wow, that was amazing. That was great. Every time, like, that was really good.
It's great, but it's not mind-blowing.
And the thing that states differently is I've never initiated with you. You've always initiated it with me.
That's the problem.
he needed to play her because like, she kind of did play him a whole bunch of times, but it was just like, he picked the most monumental possible moment to play her, and then still they got back together. I was like, that's great. I think there's lots of great ways to live your life, but that is not a way I could live my life. Like, that kind of volatility mixed with silliness, I don't get it. Some people love it. It's like spontaneous, it's interesting. Not for me. It's stressful and it's meaningless and it's ridiculous and it's childish, and they're grown. Well, Janine's kind of young, so like, but Damien and the ending, I mean, Jessica and Mark wasn't gonna happen. I told you she is a Trump supporter. Like, she was like, I cannot have Mexican children. Like, I cannot be Mexican and I can't be associated with Mexico. But she's definitely like a Trump supporter. Like, she's pictured the perfect frat family. Like, she's like the girls that would hang out with frat people. Not necessarily in a sorority, but part of that fraternity sorority world. And she's still looking for her perfect frat boy. Which brings us to the perfect frat boy, Barnett. Somehow everybody's obsessed with him, but I'm like, are we looking at the same person? Like, literally every time they start talking about him and everyone's alluding to him in their conversations about their own partners and like talking about how he's so perfect, are we looking at the same person? He must have an amazing personality. He must have one of those personalities that morphs what his face looks like. Like, there's people like that, like where your personality is so good that like you don't look like you look. Like, you're not good looking, but like you can seem good looking because you're so chill and fun to be around, and like you put people at such ease that like all their like ideas of what someone who looks like you should be like or is like are just completely melted away, and they even start to fall for you as like a heartthrob. We are not looking at the same person. Every time I hear anything about Barnett, I'm like, we're not looking at the same person. Like, I'm not seeing anything that these girls are seeing, but I do respect him for choosing Amber after an entire rigmarole or whatever, because she doesn't play around. Like, at the reunion, she was like, you fake, you shiesty, you suck, I hate you, and I saw what you were trying to do. I was like, dang. Like, at least she keeps it 100% real.
To see her throwing herself at him in Mexico, bitch, you're shiesty. You're so fake. Coming to my face like we were cool, you were so fake. I think you were a very disingenuous person, and you know what? I hope seeing this, you do grow from it, because that is not what the world needs, is women that go behind people's backs like that. You were engaged to another man that you were leading on. He was engaged. He made his choice.
Like, that was the realest I've ever seen anyone in like our generation just be like, this is how it is. Like, I'm not trying to judge you or play you, but like, I saw some things that I did not like, and I'm voicing them, and I'm letting you know that that crap was shady as hell. And Jessica was just like, don't say a word, don't fight it. Like, she reminds me of Kelly and Conway. Like, she has that same energy of like, the truth is really relative and it's not really something that like is anything that anyone can control. And if your truth is different from my truth and my truth is the opposite of your truth, and that's the truth. Like, she's literally one of those people. Like, and Amber was like, boom, boom, boom. But Barnett made the right decision, because at first I was kind of like with Jessica, like, dang, Amber's like really basic. But then like as it kept going, like, even though she is kind of like, I don't know, she doesn't seem too deep, but I think she's like really emotionally intelligent. And that's, I mean, she was like, let me just let you know what I feel about you, Jessica, and I'm done with that. And even she tried to like accept her apology, but Jessica's apology was so fake. It was like, I looked bad and I wish I didn't look that bad. Yeah. I'm surprised nobody said anything about her trying to stay on the show, literally just to continue trying to be with Barnett. Like, I literally think the only reason she said yes to Mark was because she knew they were moving on to something that was going to be more long-winded after the fact, and she wanted to stay as close as possible to him. I'm surprised she didn't move to his neighborhood and like live next door to like terrorize him, but she moved to LA. She was like, I'm gonna use this privilege and this hair to like be part of LA. Like, I can do that, and I'm going to. Like, she's moved on, and everybody's following has like exploded, of course. I think Amber and Barnett's are the like highest. Like, they're in the millions. Like, they're in like celebrity status with their following. And of course, the Hamiltons. Now I know who the Hamiltons are. I was like, this like video on my YouTube kept popping up, meet the Hamiltons, meet the Hamiltons. I was like, who? Why would I want to meet them? Who are they? Like, why haven't I met anyone else? Why are you trying to get me to meet them? But then I was like, oh. Then I watched the show and I was like, oh, yeah. So they're doing their whole interracial YouTuber thing. Shocker. Wow. Like, really? Like, that's amazing. And like, you guys are already talking about like children and people wanting to have kids. Wow, that's like so unique. And like, it's just amazing to see like someone so revolutionary, like fighting against like adversity and like fighting against. But you know, they're cute and they're happy, and I mean, they look good together. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they're a good looking couple. And Cameron's smart. I'm assuming he's a scientist, and she's really savvy, and she's got a good personality. I don't know, everybody, like, it turned out like a likable show. Like, it wasn't deep, and I don't feel like I learned anything about like from it because I don't know, to me it was just like a hodgepodge of immaturity, like playing itself out in different ways. And there were some positive outcomes and some negative outcomes, and I don't know, like, it's not like you can recreate anything about that show in the real world. I'm trying to think, like, can you? Not really. I mean, commitment is like something that if two people agree to do it, then it can be a beautiful thing. But I don't really think the pods help that. If anything, it seemed like they struggled, like when it came to like real life, they were like overstimulated by like everything going on, versus when they were just in the pods, they felt like, okay, talking, getting to know someone verbally, like that's all they were focused on. But anyway, I just had to weigh in. That's a good series. It was more of an interesting experiment, and I mean, everybody's social media blew up, so streams of income and worrying about money and stuff like that isn't going to be an issue, especially Atlanta. It's a low cost of living area. Well, it's getting up there, but you know, it can be low cost because it's the South. But yeah, it was a good show. It was a good show. Good job, Nick and Jessica, Jennifer, whatever. There were too many names that were similar in that show. I was like, all right. So what am I gonna watch next? But like, yeah. So I'm watching the funniest review so far that I've seen of this show that is also super accurate. Is Jarvis Johnson.
They have a reunion, and the reunion's budget was $1.
Like, I'm gonna have like clips of his thing popping in and out. He's like, I'm laughing so hard. Like, this is like, I wish we could have watched the show together, because he's just breaking it down. And it's just like, Like, I just love when someone fully enjoys the like tea of like the whole situation and like can just express it like so clearly and smoothly. Like,
A show that features its most conventionally attractive people.
Short, and there are women out there that won't date guys that are shorter. Poor Leslie. Before we
anyway, so definitely watch that review. Like, that is like the show in a nutshell, and it goes way slower than I did. Like, I jumped in episode 1 through 4. I was just trying to figure out what is happening here, like what is this, and like how serious can it be? And then by episode 6 I was like, I have to say something. I don't know, what am I gonna watch next? I've watched everything there is on the internet.